Fellas, what is up? I'm back again. It's been a while. I wanted to make some some more videos, just outlining some thoughts I've had. I know it's been a while, but I've sort of been focused on other things, mainly playing online. This is like what my grind is looking like nowadays. This is recorded a few days ago. I took off all my money off of global, and I put in almost 100,000 hands this year, and I was just like, okay, the games are drying up. They're kind of suck. Let's check out Club WPT because now Club WPT Gold has this. You can multi-table. You can play 4 tables. So I've been trying this out, and oh my God, the difference is just insane. There's so many fish um, at these stakes. Like it's just crazy. Yeah, so this, so you're watching me play 100 NL, I guess, and then I think my top left table is smaller, but anyways, that's what I've been grinding, and geez, it's so much easier on this site. The only problem is they don't give you some rake back, so that sucks, because it just feels like you're playing and you're just like losing money no matter what. But what happened was last year I wanted to really get good at online, and I stopped playing live. Um, for many reasons, and I did a challenge, and I got coaching. I really needed it online. I think I've mentioned this in the past, and then over around 35,000 hands, I had a win rate of around 9 big blinds per 100. After rakeback, it was almost 11 and a half to 12, which is really good. I mean, so I stopped tracking, and that's why I started moving my money to Club WPT because and I stopped tracking anyways because I thought like after 35,000 hands, which is a couple weeks of grinding like 4, 5, 6 tables for a couple hours a day, that win rate's good. But I'll tell you what, regardless of how good your win rate is, playing 100 NL is really tough, really tough online. Um, to pay your bills and stuff, and I've definitely been struggling and overspending, and that's a whole different topic that I don't really want to get into. The the first thing I want to say is I might come back to making videos. I might do like maybe a video a week, and just going over a hand or two, maybe like hands of the week, and that's it. And just getting back in the swing of things. Like I said, I think I've said this like 50 times in my videos. I never got into YouTube. I don't want to be full time YouTuber. That's not my thing. Uh, I got into YouTubing. I got into YouTube because I just wanted to just just wanted to share like my journey through poker, which you know I always I always like sharing it, and that's basically it. I wanted to be a writer in high school or in college, and um, it's sort of the same thing. There's this artistic thing in me that I want to share, like my journey, etc. Uh, Anyways, so I went through a breakup recently. That's the first thing I wanted to talk about. And breakups are, oh man, they're so difficult. I mean, I'm sure most of you guys have gone through one or been in one, and I'm still not over it. And it's been months, and even though like part of me wanted it, it's just and then I had to move with my brother, and it's just it's hard, man. It's hard when you play a mental game for a living. It's really tough to um, like get your mind straight and get your routine straight. And that's sort of what I wanted. The main focus of this video was I wanted to talk about the idea of routines. I talked to a lot of poker players who are not really in a routine, and like I think it's become sort of a corny ass talking point that the key to being good at like I'll just say poker, but like honestly, it's the key to being good at like anything that you're like working toward is routine. You need to have a routine. You need to have good sleep. You need to have good nutrition. But none of this stuff comes without a good routine. And my routine sort of looks like I wake up at like noon. I know that sounds crazy to you guys because I'm in my 30s and I'm still waking up at noon, but like that's how it is when you play poker. I go to the library in the morning. I write some of the sweeps tickets things, the sweeps in envelopes things. I read a little bit. I've been reading Jason Sue's Joy of Poker, and I've been reading some fiction, and I think my next video I'm going to talk a lot about Jason Sue's Joy of Poker. The book's very good. But I just want to just say like if you don't have a routine with poker, you are not doing it right. And it sounds a little cringy. I know, but like you just have to get into it and it frees up your mind. It frees up this space that you need to use for like thinking about poker, thinking about everything. Like so one of my main hobbies is right now is I watch a lot of tennis and watch a lot of baseball. But like for tennis, let's just say because it's a one-on-one sport and poker is kind of like a one-on-one, is like you don't see Djokovic or Alcaraz or these top players like Skinner, whatever. Let's go Skinner. He's a freaking Italian. Um, you don't see them like this is gonna sound obvious and stupid, but like they're not staying up late doing nothing. They're not like everything in their life is scheduled. And yes, they're making so much money and they have a whole team behind them, but like that's what it takes to be number one. And you kind of have to model yourself. Like you got to kind of ask yourself when you're playing poker for a living or whatever for a living, like what would Djokovic do? Like no joke. You have to ask yourself, would he be would he be on a routine? Would he be eating nonsense? But and the answer is no. Or yes, he'd be on a routine. He would be eating good, and that's what it takes to be number one. And it's been kind of like it's kind of obvious, but like um oh shit, I was saying Skinner. It's Sinner, whatever. Anyways, it's obvious, but like you have to get in a routine, and then your life starts to change, and everything starts to fall into place. Um, so I just want that's just the first thing I want to talk about was how how important routines are. I'm gonna try to keep this video under 15 minutes. The second thing I want to talk about is the what I call the pinball paradox that happens um, when you um, when you play a game like poker or like video games or like pinball. Um, and the reason why I use pinball is there's this really good author named Haruki Murakami. He is known primarily for probably writing a book that you guys might have heard of called Norwegian Wood, which was a Beatles song, but he took the title and made a book about it. It's like a love story. Uh, but his first book was a two-part short story, and the second part was called Pinball 1979. And it's about a guy who's like basically becomes obsessed with pinball. He has no meaning in his life, and one day like a pinball machine gets like delivered to like this like cafe or something that I think he's either working there or just like hanging out there. I can't remember. And he becomes like obsessed with pinball, and he says that the only goal of pinball, like the only reason you're winning, is to play more pinball. Like when you win, when you reach a certain point threshold or whatever it is in pinball, I don't know the game at all. You get like free games, you get more games, you get a ticket to the next pinball game, and it's all about just playing more pinball. And that sort of happens with poker sometimes, especially for me. It's like, well, I'm gonna win at these stakes. Why? So I could play higher stakes. and it becomes this sort of, I hate, again, is all this stuff's cliches, like it becomes sort of this hamster wheel of playing more poker, and then and you fall, I call it the pinball trap, where all you want to do is just keep doing the same thing over and over, but maybe a little bigger. And you have to be careful about that, just because, um, oops, I don't know what happened there. Just because it never ends, and you never become content. You never. Well, they say content is the contentedness is the um that's what will kill you, kind of thing. That's what keeps you down. And but you need to be at least happy with your life, and sort of this is what actually Sue says in his book, which again I'm gonna dive deeper in next time. But he you need to be careful that you're not that this, even though something like poker, like for me, I guess I'm just I guess I'm just kind of talking about my own life. Uh, it, it could become unhealthy, and that all of a sudden poker's the only thing in your life, and it's the only thing that matters. And life is so, it's so, there's so much to life. There's so much, you know what I mean? There's this famous quote by this famous Irish author that I really like, and he says, "If the doors of perception were cleansed, everyone would appear to everything. If the doors of perception were cleansed, everything would appear to man as it is, infinite." And he's basically saying that we impose these self-inflicting, self-containing uh, rules on ourselves. And there's so much more to life than like money. And and I know we live in like this capitalist society that's sort of, you have to make money to do anything in life, and that's that's the worst part of it all. But there's more to life than just like making money. Like you don't just don't need to make that much money. You need to just survive and do what makes you happy. And we all get bogged down in this. I hate saying this. It's so cliche, but humans have been around for thousands of years, and a lot of people have figured out what makes a good life. So we sort of already know what to do. You just have to trust your gut, and you have to just go with it. Um, and then the last thing I want to talk about is going to be very poker related for these next couple of minutes, and it's going to be uh, the red line and the blue line, and game theory optimal, um, like a strategy. So I've been playing online. You really get caught up in like wanting to redline. If you're not familiar with these terms, on a graph, on your poker tracking graph, there's a couple of lines that track. So like green is like your overall winnings, and then red is your winnings not at showdown, like when the hands don't go to showdown. Blue is your winnings when it does go to showdown, and then yellow is your winnings adjusted all in EV. So a lot of people try to redline people, which is like you basically bluff people. You win when you don't have better cards. You just bluff people, but it can be manipulated, etc., etc. But what what people don't understand is like, and I sort of got lost in the sauce with it, is that red the whole game is blue lining people. Like how many times you go to the casino and you just think to yourself, holy shit, the only people that won tonight are the people that just like had the best hands. Why do you think everyone gets excited when they get dealt, like, look, kings like in the top left? Like why do you think everyone gets excited for that? Because on average kings just like wins. You don't have to bluff. You just win. So I actually kind of want to watch this king's hand. I can't remember what I did. Probably just jam. But anyways, they had these bots. I forget who did this, but like these bots like set up Um, yeah, go big, go big, go big. Um, these bots were set up to play each other, like six GTO bots, and they used the graph and they saw what happened was, what does he have here? Aces. I forgot about this hand. Anyways, it was only 100. It was 150 big blinds. Anyways, the bots that won were all blue lining each other. And the reason I say this is the red line. Your winnings not at showdown. The whole point of the red line is to blue line. Okay, so that you actually have a blue line. And I can't say this enough, but like the reason why you're playing 7-5 suited sometimes, or suited connectors, or pocket deuces and pocket threes, is so that your pocket aces gets paid. Okay? The reason why old man coffee, these 75-year-old men at the casino that don't play a single hand and no one pays them is because they're never playing with hands that need to bluff. You know? Like, I think you guys know this. I think a lot of you guys that watch these videos know like how poker strategy works at a game theory optimal level. And that it the bottom part of your range serves to help the top part of your range. Yeah, there's board coverage, there's stuff like that, for balance, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But like the whole point is to the whole point. I forgot about this aces hand. Yes, is so that your bigger hands. Oh, I think I lose this aces hand, right? Yeah, he has a 10. Oh, he has a club. Okay, clubs. Yeah. So, anyways, those are the topics I wanted to cover today. I just wanted to come back. A lot of this is just me coming back and actually taking the time out of my day to like do a video. A lot of my routine doesn't have a video in it, and so yeah, I just wanted to come back, do a video, and get back into the swing of things. I think I may be making different content, but I don't know. Uh, right now, just talking to the camera and getting my thoughts on out is just like kind of all I want right now. And you could watch some hands playing, but when I make these videos and they're only like 20 minutes long, like you have to realize like 20 minutes of poker is like kind of nothing. So a lot of this, just be wary of who you think's a winner at the casino and who you think's a loser. Well, if they're a loser, they mostly are. But on a day-to-day basis, the person who wins the hand is the most likely who got dealt the best hand. And the only mark of a good player is longevity. That's all I needed to say, guys. I'll be back hopefully in a couple of days. Maybe I'll record another video talking about some other things. See you guys.